So my next review is something I picked up from TFCon thanks to my buddy Cheers Ian. It was kind of a figure I was really looking forward to picking up. I like to call it the masterpiece of Gobot toys, if you will. It's Blue Jet from the Machine Robo series, which is what Fitor was in Gobots. This is from the EM series, which is kind of Bandai's attempt to make masterpiece stuff figures that aren't from the Soul of Chokin line. So let's review this baby. I love this thing.
Protoretro.
So here is Blue Jet, mint in box from the EM Gokin series. He's EM03. The other two are actually not transformable robot stuff. They aren't part of Machine Robo or Gobot related stuff. It's actually Shin Getter and Mugen Daibin. So don't expect other Machine Robo Gobot related stuff from this. So this was, at least to me, a masterpiece attempt at a Gobot character, or a character that I really liked from Machine Robo, Blue Jet, who is quite different from Fitor from Gobots. Now, typical of my style of how I like to do my videos, especially when it's stuff like this, I want to kind of do a retrospective of leading up to this awesome figure. So, first of all, for you people who don't really know, he was Fitor in Gobots. This is a mint on card one. Now, Fitor was actually one of the Renegades, which, here's the card separately damaged. He was one of the villains. Not really that memorable. Just kind of a goon, if you will. And where these Gobots essentially originated from was from a line called Machine Robo, which came out in 1982 in Japan. And they came in boxes like this, dubbed the 600 series because they were 600 yen to get back in the day. And similar to Matchbox, very simple, you know, stylization. These things were very popular, and Tonka picked these up, brought them over, and that's what we have today. So, I mean, this was Fitor Blue Jet, essentially. It was the simple transformation and a simple toy. But a lot of people really like Gobots, despite how they were called the Kmart of Transformers back in the day. And Machine Robo, which what they were based from, is an amazing anime, which I suggest you pick up, especially if you love giant robot animes and transforming robots. So that was that piece of history. Now, what we didn't get was there was a line of super Gobots, if you will, in Japan, or super Robos, that didn't transform, and they were more based on show accurate stuff. So there was the Super Gobot Blue Jet, which these were non-transformable figures that looked more akin to how they looked in the show in terms of stylization and design. Now, they kind of looked like they transformed. They had articulated pieces here and there, and he had his sword that he had in the show, but unfortunately he doesn't transform. But it's still a really nice figure that had articulation and stuff like that, but not there just yet. Also, because of the popularity of Machine Robo, there was a ton of kabaya and model kits and toy candy kits back in the 80s. So Blue Jet also had a model kit. And this one actually transforms. It's very simple, but it also transforms. And I'm not going to mess with it because these are fragile as hell, and the stickers are just barely holding on for their lives. So there was that one. Nothing for Blue Jet for years, and then in, I believe it was 2002, we had Machine Robo Rescue, which had a Jet Robo, which was a combiner with a whole bunch of other pieces. And if you kind of stripped away all those combiner pieces, you pretty much had a version of Blue Jet, like that. And that actually transformed also into Blue Jet, which little twists here and there. You know, almost kind of had a nice design, but still not there just yet. So, after dormancy for a while, we come to what we have today. So I'm going to crack this open, and I'll give you guys a whole gander at this awesome figure. Now, I removed all the baggies and stuff. Essentially, it comes in a slider cover here, a nice slip cover, And all the figures and all the pieces are in little baggies, but I removed them all so I can make it easy for showing you guys. Simple box, nice little logos and everything, nice matte finish, and just a really, really, really cool packaging. But who really cares about the packaging? All they care about is the content. So, he comes in a multi-layered packaging of bubbles. The bottom one being for the stand, which I actually put aside and will show when I do some B footage. The stand is usually just used for his vehicle mode, so you can have it posed nicely. So let's get out the figure, and then we'll get out all the junk too. Now the figure itself is heavy die cast. They put nice die cast in the legs here and in the chest, which is really nice to have. It adds to the shine, and putting it in the feet is really good because that means that figure is heavy. It is going to hold his poses no matter any way you put it. And this thing has great poses, which I'll get to in a sec. So it comes with 2 wings, 2 rear wings, a extra torso, which we'll get into why. Let me get these out here. 2 little booster jets, a extra hand here, a splayed out hand, a sword with hand attached, and the front of a plane. Now, what's with all those pieces? Unfortunately, because of his stylized design, and just like this guy here before from the 80s, because the way that Machine Robo toys were designed, they can't have that cool angular look to it and make the transformation possible. They wanted to do something that was extremely show accurate. Now, this is about as close as we got without being transformable. So what they did was they applied the concepts of this, but added parts forming to make that. Now imagine, this was the front of the jet, which was supposed to make his head. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I'll show you that in a moment. Now, articulation-wise, amazing. Just, you could put him in any pose and it will hold it because of those heavy legs. You can get some really awesome like action features and everything. Oh, by the way, these come off because it's part of the transformation, so don't worry, it doesn't break. It's just he has he's a parts former, so everything's supposed to come off if needed. So you have the hands that you could change out here and swap out. Here, I'll put out the open hand here, and any pose you put him in is some really cool, like, you know, you could splay his legs out and cock his head a little bit, and you got some really cool anime. And just because those heavy legs really help with any pose. Now, transformation, I just did half of it right there. Transformation is pretty simple. It's just a lot of parts removal from pieces and pieces. So I'm going to do a little montage here of how it does. Now, unlike my other Transformer videos where I do transformation, because it's Machine Robo, they actually just go change. So change, you take off one arm, change, you take off the other arm, head comes off, so you're stuck with this torso here. Now next thing you want to do is you also want to take off the legs here. So you take off the legs and everything pops out, and it's really nice. You don't really feel like it's forced or anything. Nice heavy die cast. Pop off the other leg here, and then you're stuck with this guy. Now, the last piece you need is this torso piece. Same thing also, just kind of pops off there, and you take off that piece. Now, you're stuck with this stuff here. So then we're going to get all the extra pieces. Now we start with this. With this, you want to essentially get those thruster pieces. Where are they? So you have these thruster pieces, and you're going to want to put them in a very specific way. You turn it around, and you put them like this. It's a parts former, unfortunately, but to achieve show accuracy, they had to go that route. Now, you put in the thrusters, now you have that big front of the plane, pops in there like that. Very simple. You're starting to already kind of get where it's going with all of that. Then you take the legs. You want to pop off these side rudders. Unfortunate, they don't fold like the toy, but that's because they're going to go from that to that. So they really wanted to achieve a massive amount of show accuracy when doing this. So there is a little bit of transformation here. You twist the foot like this, and you twist the foot like that to get some kind of, you know, detail there. And then you're going to attach it to that afterwards. So you're going to do the same to the other one. Twist the foot like this, and twist the foot like that. You can kind of see where it's going with that. Now then, we're going to put in the jet wings on both sides. 1 and 2. Very simple. And then finally, the rear wings or rudders, or not a plane expert, so I don't know the technical term, but we'll call them the rear wings. They just pop in like that. And then the last one like that. This is like heavy metal stuff, so it's pretty cool how it holds together very well. Now you have your final piece here, the front end. Now here's that torso I was talking about, this extra one that they included. Essentially, you pop that in like that, and then you bring in those pieces here that we put together, and detailed and everything. And there you have the front jet, his jet mode, looking spectacular. Now, heavy like hell. They include a stand that if you twist the pieces just ever so slightly, it barely is able to hold it, but it holds it, because it is some heavy die cast, but it's kind of meant for that kind of thing. So, essentially, pretty cool stuff. Really awesome that they were able to achieve a accurate jet mode, because again, this is what his head is. They would have not been able to achieve that otherwise. So that's in a nutshell. Blue Jet, really cool thing. Tons of stuff. Not very expensive. I was able to pick him up for $90. I'm pretty sure if you're someone that had more patience and not like me, pre-ordering it right away and wanting it right away and everything, you probably could have gotten it cheaper. So it's just one of those figures that patience, it'll be cheaper, and it is an awesome piece of engineering, and it's really cool to have a masterpiece equivalency of a Gobot character or Machine Robo. So this is Protoman of Protoretro, and this has been a video review of EM Gokin Series EM03 Blue Jet from Machine Robo Revenge of Cronos. Until then guys, roll out.